What's up and welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now right here on Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. It's been a fantastic week here on the program. Appreciate all of you for making our NFC Championship game coverage a part of your week. And it doesn't stop here. Why? Because we have some more heat cooked up for you on the show today. Some important San Francisco 49ers injury news. Do the Eagles have a secret edge to stop Brock Purdy? Fascinating stuff on that front. Stay tuned for it. And Deebo Samuel said what about Eagles fans and Lincoln Financial Field? We're going to uncover all of it. First, though, I have to pass along my thanks to all of you who continue to support everything that we do here at Chat Sports and on Eagles Now. We reached a huge milestone here on the channel of 40,000 subscribers. And if you're coming across this show for the first time, grew up in Westchester, went to Temple, rooted on this football team from the early age of 4 years old, so the passion is certainly there. And if you want to subscribe for daily shows, do so right now. Also, an exciting announcement. We will be doing a watch party here on Eagles Now for Sunday's NFC Championship game. Our live coverage here on Eagles Now begins at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. That's an hour and 15 minutes prior to kickoff from South Philadelphia. It's going to be a joint live stream on Eagles Now and on the 49ers Report. Not only could this be a legendary game and competition on the field for the right to play in Super Bowl 57, it's going to be a phenomenal competition here between the two channels with myself and the entire Chat Sports crew. It is going to be a party because we put the party into watch party. Cannot wait to see the competition inside the walls here at the company and on the field for the right to get to Glendale, Arizona. Let's begin with the latest 49ers injury news here. A lot of notable players on their injury report. Christian McCaffrey hurt his calf in the divisional round matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. Did not practice yesterday, but said there's a 0% chance that he won't play in this game. Deebo Samuel said his ankle is pretty sore. He was on the practice field but didn't really do anything. Elijah Mitchell did not participate because of a groin injury. He's the 49ers' number 2 running back. Jimmy Garoppolo, non-participant. And Ambry Thomas, a depth corner for San Francisco, a limited participant with an ankle ailment. As for the Niners' backup quarterback situation, right now the backup is Josh Johnson, who's been on the most teams in the history of the NFL, and there's a reason for that, because he's a bona fide backup. This Eagles pass rush is fantastic. So if Brock Purdy were to go down, looks as though Josh Johnson would step into his shoes and not Jimmy Garoppolo. There's been some rumblings that maybe Jimmy G was going to be able to play in this game. Had an x-ray on his foot on Tuesday. Kyle Shanahan does not expect him to practice this week or be eligible to play as the backup to Mr. Irrelevant. Now to Deebo Samuel. He said his ankle is pretty sore, but there's no doubt that he'll be on the field. Deebo Samuel in the wild card round had this insane pitch and catch, put on the afterburners, hit a next gear touchdown that went for more than 70 yards from Purdy. Very dynamic weapon who's one of the X factors in this game against Philadelphia because he can light up in the slot, outside, in the backfield as a ball carrier, gadget weapon, and pass catcher. He leads the NFL in yards after the catch since coming into the league as a second-round pick in 2019. So even if he's not 100%, that's no doubt a massive deal for this Eagles defense and their preparations going into this game against the Niners. And then sticking on the defensive side of the football, a player on San Francisco did have some legal issues earlier this week. It's Charles Omenihu, a backup, versatile defensive tackle edge who's actually been a pretty valuable component to the Niners' number 1 overall defense this year. He was arrested on Monday on suspicion of misdemeanor domestic violence. He did return to practice for the Niners on Wednesday. Kyle Shanahan did say that Omenihu will play in the NFC Championship game. Police did not see any visible injuries. His girlfriend alleged that Omenihu had pushed her to the ground. She also did refuse medical treatment, and the NFL has not levied any suspensions on Omenihu. They said that he's good to go and eligible to play as well, but obviously a big storyline heading into this game because of his value to that Niners defensive front, one of the better defensive fronts in the NFL, and that matchup against the Eagles offensive line, a spectacular one with a bunch of fantastic players. As for what the Niners coach Kyle Shanahan said about Omenihu, we're letting the legal process take care of itself, so he's healthy. He'll play this week. We've looked into it the last 48 hours, not only himself but other people. We don't feel we should kick him off our team at this time. But he could cause some problems against this Philadelphia Eagles offensive line just because of his versatility and his quickness. He can play edge. He can play defensive tackle. So depending on where he is along that front, Niners like to run a lot of twist stunts. They like to run a lot of delayed blitzes. They play bully ball up front, and Omenihu has been a big part of that. 4.5 sacks, it's a career high this year for him. 54 pressures and somewhat limited action, although he does see a lot of tick. 39 quarterback hurries, 10 quarterback hits, obviously for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. This is very, very interesting here because the 49ers have struggled against mobile quarterbacks. For instance, Russell Wilson, when he was with the Seattle Seahawks this year against the Broncos, 17-4 in his career against the Niners. They've historically struggled against rushing, mobile, and athletic quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts has a lot of the same qualities and attributes as a Russell Wilson. So if the Niners can't get defensive pressure, or they don't have pass rush run integrity, or pass rush lane integrity, I should say, that's a huge advantage for Philadelphia in this game. So too is the Eagles offensive line against that Niners defensive line. We previewed it just a couple of seconds ago, but every member along this Eagles offensive line named to a Pro Bowl alternate, an All-Pro, or a future Hall of Famer. Like Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson are two of the best to ever do it. Jordan Mailata, fantastic player, although as compared to Lane Johnson, somewhat of a weak link at that tackle spot. Expect Nick Bosa to go up against him. Landon Dickerson, very good in the run and pass game. And Isaac Seumalo, an unheralded hero on this team, honestly been playing like one of the better right guards in the sport. As for what the Niners boost defensively along that front, Samson Ebukam, a speed edge who's not really all that bulky. Javon Kinlaw is a bull up front when he's healthy. Eric Armstead, the absolute disruptor along that line. He missed about half the season, but since he's come back, this Niners #1 overall ranked defense has been even better. Nick Bosa, probably the defensive player of the year with 18.5 sacks in the regular season, but no sacks over his last 3-4 games. And then another big matchup here. While the Eagles might be better at cornerback, and I think they are, the 49ers do have the better linebacking core than Philadelphia. Yes, TJ Edwards, Kaiser White have played well this year, but this is a star-studded backer crew for San Francisco, led by Fred Warner, who is the best off-ball linebacker in the league. Dre Greenlaw is playing at an all-pro level this year. Azeez Al-Shire, very fast from sideline to sideline. That's why I continue to say that this is a star-studded matchup between two of the most loaded rosters in the NFL, as evidenced by everything we've broken down all throughout the week. I do want to put you to the test here next up in the comment section. You think about the San Francisco 49ers. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear San Francisco 49ers? Get creative. Bird Gang, we want to see you share all of your thoughts. I'm looking forward to going back into the comment section, as I always do, to see what you come up with. And yes, I do host Eagles Now. I do host the 49ers Report. It's been a wild week for me. Multiple live shows and videos every single day. I have been so busy trying to give you all the best content. And if you want more insight into this matchup, or you just want to talk life, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. Here on Eagles Now, we are so thankful and appreciative of Athletic Greens for making today's show possible. This is a company that is a part of my daily routine, and it means a lot to me in terms of prioritizing my health and wellness. I take AG1 every day, and you can get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I originally gave AG1 a try because given my work schedule here at Chat Sports, combined with my training regimen, as I'm on a mission to run every day for a year straight, I'm at about 250 days right now. I wanted sustained energy and to stay healthy by keeping my immune system strong so that I can strive toward my professional work life and personal fitness goals. I take AG1 every morning as part of my routine, and it really does set the table for the rest of my day. It's helped improve my gut health noticeably. It's boosted my energy a lot, supports my immune system as I continue to stay healthy and avoid some sicknesses during these temperature changes, and it helps me recover since I'm putting such a toll on my body. I've really started to prioritize my health over the last couple of years and steer clear of chemicals and harsh ingredients, which is also why I love AG1 and its 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. I just mix one small scoop of AG1 with water, and I love that something that's this good for you costs less than $3 per day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving the Fly Eagles Fly family, get this, a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Head to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out in the comment section and the description of this video. Now to the big looming question and a big rumor out there. Do the Philadelphia Eagles have a secret edge on Brock Purdy, who, since he took over Jimmy Garoppolo, has had this offense moving for the Niners at an unbelievable clip, as San Francisco has averaged 32.5 points per game with him as the starting quarterback? There's some interesting background and insight here for Philadelphia that we're about to get to, but take a look at what Brock Purdy's been able to do in 8 games and 7 starts for the Niners. He's won all 7 of his starts. 16 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He's completed 67% of his passes, and the Niners averaging 32.6 points per game as a squad. As for the Eagles' background on Brock Purdy and some of the insight of them having the secret sauce, Eagles assistant defensive backs coach DK McDonald was at Iowa State with Purdy. There is also another Eagles assistant who was at Iowa State on the defensive side of the ball with the Birds currently, who coached there when Brock Purdy played there as he started 48 career games. According to Jonathan Gannon, he said this: McDonald has, quote, a whole list of things we need to get done to have a chance to stop Purdy, who's made quick decisions. He has good mobility, pretty surprising athleticism, and has taken command of Kyle Shanahan's offense. And the notable record, with Purdy being a rookie quarterback, playing in a Final Four game in a conference championship, there have been 4 other instances of this scenario in NFL history, as Brock Purdy is the 5th rookie quarterback ever to start a conference championship game. The previous 4 all went down with defeats. Sean King with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 1999. Ben Roethlisberger in 2004 with the Pittsburgh Steelers also went home with a defeat. Joe Flacco made it to an AFC Championship game like Ben Roethlisberger in 2008 as a rookie, and the product out of Delaware, the Philadelphia area guy, also suffered a loss. And then Mark Sanchez in 2009 under Rex Ryan also lost his AFC Championship game appearance as a rookie as well. So speaking of Purdy going up against this Eagles defense, how many sacks will the Eagles have on Sunday? They finished the regular season with 70 in 17 games, most since the 1985 Bears. Let us know a numerical figure down below in the comment section. Now, with this Eagles defensive line, they will be facing a Niners offensive line that does have some weak spots and did not play well against the Dallas Cowboys last weekend. Trent Williams, a.k.a. the Silverback, best left tackle to ever play the game, arguably. He's certainly the best left tackle in the game right now. Aaron Banks didn't give up a sack in the regular season, but battled a knee injury the last couple of weeks and didn't have his best performance against the Cowboys in that physical front, which is what the Eagles also have. Jake Brendel up before this year was a journeyman center. So Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, big opportunities for them. Spencer Burford as a rookie, and Micah Parsons owned Mike McGlinchey. I will say this about Micah Parsons against Trent Williams. I think Parsons went up against Trent Williams 14 snaps, didn't register a single sack, only 1 quarterback pressure. So that's how Williams fared against Micah Parsons. Could be matched up a lot against Hassan Reddick, although Hassan Reddick oftentimes on the McGlinchey side of the line of scrimmage. This Eagles defensive line, I do believe, has the edge over the 49ers offensive line. This is how you can win the football game right here, folks. Get consistent pressure, force a turnover for Brock Purdy. He's only thrown 3 interceptions over his 8 games in 7 starts, so he's made good decisions, but a couple of those INTs were dropped. So you generate a pass rush, and you're also good against this ground game for San Francisco. It makes it really hard for the Niners to move the ball, and of course the raucous environment is going to play a role in this game for a rookie quarterback. Brandon Graham, career high in sacks. Josh Sweat, career high in sacks. Hassan Reddick, career high in sacks. Same can be said for Javon Hargrave. Even Fletcher Cox had about 7 sacks in the regular season. That pass rush can't be neutralized. They're going to have to come through with a big performance. And going to that Eagles sack production, Hassan Reddick against Mike McGlinchey, a matchup that Philadelphia should try to exploit. If you move Hassan Reddick over to the Trent Williams side, then maybe that gives Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham some opportunities to rush from that left side of the Eagles' defensive line of scrimmage. Historic sack production here for the Eagles. I do think that the Eagles' linebacking core and this front here is going to be tested by the schematics of Kyle Shanahan, his creativity offensively, but also just the loaded talent on the Niners roster. I understand that a lot of people are confident that the Eagles are going to win, but this is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a rock fight. This is going to be an all-out brawl, and blood will be spilled because the talent level on both rosters is fantastic. You look at what the Niners have at that running back spot. Christian McCaffrey was finally healthy. Finalist for Comeback Player of the Year. He totaled nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards this year. He had only played in 16 combined games in 2021 and in 2020. Elijah Mitchell, a great backup running back. Kyle Juszczyk, an excellent fullback. And Jordan Mason, very good number 3 back who can be a short down guy, but Kyle Shanahan has really gone with the 2 running back rotation in the playoffs so far. This Eagles secondary, Darius Slay, James Bradbury. What do you got against the plethora of weapons at that spot for San Francisco when we talk about wide receiver? Deebo Samuel is the Yak King. He leads all players in yards after the catch since coming into the league in 2019. Brandon Ayuk had 1,000 receiving yards, and like Devontae Smith, a great route runner and superb in the open field. An X factor, another one in this game, could be Juwan Jennings. Many of his receptions come on 3rd and 4th downs. He's been their money down wide receiver. Ray McLeod is their punt returner, their kick returner, but kind of a Swiss Army knife, one of the better returners in the NFL, but had a 70-yard touchdown a couple of weeks ago. And then Danny Gray, at this point, the mid-round draft pick out of SMU, doesn't really get a lot of snaps, plays more special teams for San Francisco. Darius Slay has been an all-pro. He's been a Pro Bowler. James Bradbury rebounded after getting released by the New York Giants. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, one of your tallest tasks of the season, going up against this Niners juggernaut of an offense that has the aforementioned Deebo, has the aforementioned Brandon Ayuk, but also George Kittle, a good player. Avonte Maddox, by the way, injury update on him, continues to trend in the right direction. You need a player like this on the field to combat what the Niners like to do with their versatile approach. That's for what the Niners have at tight end. TJ Edwards, Kaiser White. I wonder who else is going to try to stop George Kittle. Could be an Avonte Maddox. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Kittle, 11 touchdowns after the midway point of the regular season. Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly used more as blockers in that offense. So we just kind of ran through some elements of that Niners roster. I was live on the 49ers Report, and I asked them this same question. I said, on a Madden scale, how would you rank the Eagles roster? A lot of them had said 85, 90, 95. They're taking San Francisco legit. Are you taking the 49ers legit? One awful roster, 100 great. Let us know down in the comment section. As for this heavyweight bout, 49ers Eagles in the NFC Championship game, on the road to becoming the most expensive ticket in NFC title game history. Get that. And the game day atmosphere in Philadelphia is going to be unbelievable. Here's your guide if you're going to the game to having a time in South Philadelphia. It all starts with the tailgate in the K-Lot. You take down some beers, you throw the football around, you play some beer pong, flip cup, you smoke some meats. The K-Lot is where it's at prior to an Eagles game. Then you enter the stadium. Don't get there late. Fill up those stands early to make this atmosphere raucous right from the jump. You have the national anthem. You have introductions every time a visiting player is announced. It gets followed with sucks, for instance. Chase Sr. sucks. They light the fireworks, and it gets rowdy. Then once the game starts, it's an insane atmosphere. I was at the 2004 NFC Championship game when the Eagles finally got over the hump. Their 4th straight NFC title game against the Atlanta Falcons. It's a day that I'll never forget, and honestly, this was me all throughout that day. As for what Deebo Samuel said about playing with Eagles fans on hand, getting loud at a crowded Linc, we know it's going to be loud, but no stadium is as loud as ours. They're at home, NFC Championship. They're going to be all riled up. We don't feed much into that. Well, Deebo, I have mad respect for you as a player. Last year, you had one of the more unique and impressive seasons that we've ever seen. I got to laugh at that, my guy, because the Linc is louder than Levi's Stadium. I saw somebody call it the wine and cheese crowd out in the Bay Area because you have Silicon Valley against South Philly, Broad Street. Levi's Stadium is not louder than Lincoln Financial Field. I'm just spitting facts here. So predict the score before we wrap up this segment. Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers. Share your thoughts and comment below.